There was once a man named Hama bin Laqis bin Iblis, who had lived for centuries. He was the grandson of Iblis, the cursed one who was expelled from paradise for his disobedience to God. Hama had also lived a life of disobedience, as he was part of the group of jinn who had killed Abel, the son of Adam, in a fit of jealousy. One day, Hama found himself standing in front of the beloved Prophet Mohammed on a hill in Tahama. The Prophet could sense that the man in front of him was not a human but a jinn, and he greeted him in a kind and respectful manner. Hama was surprised by the Prophet's kindness and asked him if he knew who he was. The Prophet replied that he could tell by Hama's voice and accent that he was of the jinn race. Hama then introduced himself as the grandson of Iblis and told the Prophet that he was 43 years old when Abel was killed. The Prophet listened to Hama's story with a heavy heart, as he knew that the jinn were capable of great evil. However, Hama surprised the Prophet by confessing that he had been living among the Muslims during the time of Prophet Noah and had repented for his sins. He asked the Prophet if Allah would accept his repentance. The Prophet assured him that Allah is forgiving and merciful and that if Hama performed wudu and 2 prostrations, his repentance would be accepted. Hama followed the Prophet's advice and performed the prostrations, and as soon as he lifted his head, the Prophet told him that his repentance had been accepted. Hama was filled with joy and gratitude and asked the Prophet if he could share his story with others. The Prophet agreed, and Hama went on to tell the story of his life. In the age of Hazrat Prophet Noah, I used to live with Muslims in a mosque. I had told Hazrat Noah that I was a part of the gathering of the killers of Abel bin Adam Abe, son of Prophet Adam. I desire God's forgiveness. Will God accept my repentance? Prophet Noah said, God is forgiving and merciful. Get up and do wudu and offer 2 prostrations of prayer. I acted on Prophet Noah's advice and I hadn't yet lifted my head from the prostration when Hazrat Noah said, lift your head from prostration, your repentance is accepted. I often used to go on pilgrimage to see Prophet Jacob. I was with Prophet Joseph in the place of his captivity. I used to meet Prophet Elijah in the wilderness and I still meet with Prophet Elijah on occasion. I have seen Prophet Moses too. He educated me in the books of the Old Testament and told me that when you meet Hazrat Prophet Jesus, give him my regards. I conveyed Hazrat Musa's greetings to Hazrat Isa. He told the Prophet that he had met many of the prophets who had come before him, including Prophet Noah, Jacob, Elijah, and Moses. He had even received a message from Prophet Moses to convey his regards to Prophet Jesus, who had in turn asked Hama to convey his greetings to the Prophet Muhammad. The Prophet was moved by Hama's story and began to cry. He said that he hoped that Prophet Isa would receive his greetings and prayed for peace to be upon Hama as long as the world existed. The Prophet then told Hama that he had fulfilled his duty and that he was free to return to his own world. Hama thanked the Prophet and left, feeling grateful for the mercy and forgiveness that he had received. He knew that he still had a long way to go to make up for his past sins, but he was determined to continue on the path of repentance and righteousness. Years went by and Hama continued to live among the jinn, spreading the message of repentance and forgiveness. His story inspired many others, both human and jinn, to seek forgiveness from God and to live a life of righteousness. Eventually, Hama passed away, but his legacy lived on. People continued to tell his story, and he became known as the grandson of Iblis who met the Prophet Muhammad. His story reminded people that no matter how great their sins, they could always turn to God and seek forgiveness, and that no one was beyond redemption. In the end, Hama's story was a testament to the mercy and forgiveness of God and the transformative power of repentance. It was a story that touched the hearts of many and inspired them to lead a life of righteousness and devotion to God. If you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel.